So I've got some data here of monthly sales broken down by channel. So we've got website, store, call center, and affiliates. So what I want to do is I want to show this monthly sales data in a pie chart. And the way you do that is by firstly selecting all the data, then going on insert, and then this pie button right here. And then for this example, we're going to go with a 2D pie. And as you can see, Excel has generated a pie chart which breaks down the data um, in our table right here. But this alone is not that useful. So what we want to do is we want to add data labels to each of the pies to make it more easier to read. The way to do that is select the pie and then right click and select add data labels. And as you can see, the data from the table has now been entered into the specific pies. But again, this data in isolation isn't as useful because pie charts are more effective when you show a breakdown by percentage. So if you want to change this to a percentage rather than an absolute value, again, that's very easy. All you need to do is select the pie and then go on Format Data Labels. And then on the right-hand side, instead of value, we're going to select percentage and uncheck the value sign. And as you can see, the Excel pie chart is updated to represent the figures in a percentage format. Another thing you could do with your pie chart is change the position of each different element. The way to do that is by selecting your pie chart, and then on the right hand side, you'll see angle of first slice. If I change this to the right hand side, then the position of the pie will move as well. However, I'm happy with the position as it is, so I'm going to move it back to 0. Another thing we can do with our pie chart is separate out these elements so they're no longer connected. So what you can do is you can select the pie chart and then this pie explosion scale right here. If I was to move it to the right hand side slightly, as you can see, the pies essentially explode and they're no longer connected. However, I think this is more effective when you're calling out a specific element. So if I reset this to 0 and I want to call out this 8% right here. So if I select the 8% and then slightly move this scale to the right hand side. So what this does is this kind of puts more emphasis on the 8%. So management can see that this is the worst performing channel and it needs a greater level of attention than the other channels that we have. Some other things you can do to better format your pie chart is by changing the colors. That's quite simple. If I wanted to change the color of this blue, I just select the blue, right click, and then go on fill and change the color to whatever I prefer. The other thing you can do is you can actually change the formatting of the percentages as well. So if I select the percentages and I can bold it, I can increase the size, and I can also change the color. Let's go with white, so it's easy to see. And like that, you can make your pie chart a little bit more appealing and a bit more easier to read.